Welcome to Perspective Now. I'm Marcus, and I'm here with none other than Nunyub. Nunyub, what's up, man?
Not much, Marcus. I'm so excited to be here tonight. Again, bringing in... A lot of people don't think that Christmas movies would be my favorite, but I'm a huge fan. Again, some people with the name of Nunyub celebrate Christmas too. So it is a wonderful time to be here. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Yes. Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy holidays. This is a special time of year for many reasons, and it's been a rough year, to say the least. Crazy
we need
enough,
a little Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah.
That song is most applicable this year.
Yeah. Things have been a little wonky.
Yeah.
That's what I would say. And you know what's crazy too is the channel is 6 years old on January 1st. Can you believe that? It's unbelievable. How long has this been? Anyway, we've got a great show for you guys. This is a very Christmassy episode. We've got 10 of the best, worst, scariest, our favorites of the villains from Christmas movies. So we're going to launch into those and freak you guys out with our Christmas memories and terrifying and also unimpressive, in some cases. Annoying.
Yeah. The villains that irk us. Yeah.
The shitty antagonists.
Let's jump right in then, and we will go to the monitor.
Okay.
The big screen, if you will.
Looks good.
Now.
Oh, now. What is this first one? Oh.
This is a classic story of terrible parents, Home Alone.
Did you count him?
Home Alone.
Boys, 6 girls, 4 parents, and a partridge.
I mean, again, of course, the natural idea is to think of the Wet Bandits. Again, probably some of the best villains that exist in all of cinema. Let's just put that out there.
Yeah.
But I'd also say the villain here is bad parenting.
Yeah. I would agree. Horrible parents.
Yeah. Really, I mean, the fact
And
that
I
they
love
not
Catherine
only
O'Hara, man. I'm sorry. I just see her and I lose it.
Yeah. And she becomes an even better parent in Schitt's Creek, right? Isn't that fantastic?
Yeah, she's awesome. And in
Yeah.
Beetlejuice.
Everything.
Everything.
She's just hilarious.
Yes.
But classic story of parents that just leave their kid behind, and then they
Yeah.
like make it everybody else's problem the whole movie. Like you
Yeah.
forgot your kid, so like
Yeah.
you know, John Candy, all the police, all those people, they end up getting pulled into it. In
Oh,
fact,
man.
Kevin McAllister is kind of a sociopath. Like if you think about all these like tricks and
Yeah. He was forced to
Amazing.
be, though. He was forced to be.
yeah, it's a righteous attack. But he's got a skill.
This is going to be your best Christmas ever.
That's
I was
his
just
polka
watching
band.
Home Alone 2, and he put the whole thing together again.
Yeah, I mean, and it's funny because Macaulay Culkin nowadays is actually very eccentric and cool. I don't know if you guys know that or not, but he is interesting.
Yeah, it's come
But
a,
yeah, what a
come a long way.
classic choice. What a classic choice there, Nunyub. I wasn't
Well,
expecting that.
We got to talk about the big show here, though. The
Okay.
Wet Bandits.
Yeah.
It's one thing to just rob people.
Yeah.
It's another thing to have a call sign.
Mm.
A tag, so that people know
Yes.
they were struck. They were struck by the Wet Bandits.
The wet ones.
Yeah. You know, they'd leave all the water on.
Yeah, they would
Not
screw
only would they
people's-
take your stuff,
Yeah, they'd wreck you.
up your water bill.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's insult to injury, really.
Yeah.
And I mean, Joe Pesci's such a classic. You know, I mean, he's the brains behind it. It's got the fake, security job. But, the tall guy, I don't even know his name, but I mean, he's imprinted in
Yes.
all of our minds.
It's Dustin something. The actor. I'm like blanking. All I can think of is all the movies like he was in that Western one. City Slickers.
Yeah. He looks like a Dustin.
I can't think of his name. He's very funny.
Dustin
Anyway,
in a duster. Yeah.
he is a duster. Yeah.
Dustin in a duster.
Yeah, yeah. All right,
But
so
anyways-
what would you rank these guys, man? Where do they end up on our scale?
Well, as much as I think they're funny and I enjoy watching them just get tormented by this kid, I gotta go with lame because, again, they've got they don't just go for whatever it is that there's their goal. They like become obsessed with this kid, and I just think that's really lame.
Lame.
What about you, Marcus?
That's interesting. I think that, Christmas time is not a time to be robbing fools and also, smashing up their house and
Never is a really good time to do that, but
No, but then
past
insult to injury by flooding the place, I think that's extremely lame as well.
Lame.
I'm gonna go with
So,
lame.
there we go. Yeah.
All right. So this next film,
Yeah,
Marcus,
this is
why
one
don't
of
you,
mine. Yeah,
Why don't
so
you tell
this
us a
one,
little bit more about it?
Christmas Story. This was one of those movies that kind of freaked me out because I did want a BB gun, and specifically this scene terrified me when I was a kid. There's many things going on in this scene that freaked me out. One is, I think, the anticipation of waiting in line to sit on Santa's lap to tell him your favorite toy. And I don't know, there's something about lines when you're a little kid that feel like, come on, stay organized.
grown out of that?
Yeah, no, I was in a line today, and actually I felt a little bit weird,
You were in a line in
Today.
2020?
I was in a line today. Yes, I had to go to the store. If you can
Whoa.
believe that, I know. It's like Mad Max, man. But
Right?
look at this, and they're throwing kids, and that guy's weird hat. Like, these hats kind of freaked me out. This whole movie is amazing. I mean, I don't really need to go into this, but this guy terrified me. I mean, he's just tossing kids. They don't, clearly he doesn't want the kids sitting on his lap. He's rude to them. That the Santa's helpers are rude. They could care less. Throw them down.
I don't think I really ever noticed that aspect to this movie as all the
Yeah.
times I've seen it growing up. I didn't realize
Yeah.
those are just yanking him up the stairs like
Yeah,
that.
exactly. And he's just like, whoa. And that lady. I think it's
To be
funny
f-
that they have those bells that get in between their eyes.
Yeah. To be fair, the other kids weren't really prepared to see Santa.
No, nobody is, especially this Santa.
Yeah.
The fisheye lens is a good way to freak everybody out.
Yeah.
Hurry up, the store's closing.
The audio's crazy.
Santa's nose is all red, even though he's been indoors all
Look.
day.
Look at her. She's trying to get that thing out of her face so she can see.
You want for Christmas, little boy?
My mind had gone blank. Frantically, I tried to remember what it was I wanted. I was blowing it.
And that happens in real life. Sometimes you just forget. Under pressure. It's like
Yeah.
What's a
Stage fright.
it's like stage fright. Yeah, I mean, and then there's an entire line watching. How are you performing now that it's your time?
Yeah.
football? Oh,
This is like
This
when
is
I
so
really
funny.
have to
He said
pee
he's
at like a
football.
Blazer game.
stupid.
Yeah, right.
It's like I finally
Look
get
at
up
this.
there and it's like, oh no.
Yeah, right. Yeah. That's a good, analogy.
No, I want an official red undercover nation 200 rifle.
That's
Shoot your eye out, kid. Merry Christmas.
It's just
in this. I mean, just like talk to the boot, kid.
yeah.
It was just like such an experience. And watching
Yeah.
that when I was a kid really freaked me out for some reason.
I gotta say that image right there,
Yeah.
I'm hearing you say that the Santa was the villain here. I'd like to just point out that, the Red Ryder 7 was the original gun control that even Santa knew. The kid's gonna shoot his eye out. Everybody keeps saying he's gonna shoot his eye out. He shoots his eye out. The most
Yeah,
predictable
yeah.
eye shot
Right.
ever.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. I was terrified of BB guns because of this movie, more so than I should have been. Now, when I
Yeah.
was maybe 13 or so, I went over to this kid's house, and him and his brother had BB and pellet guns. And so we all grabbed one. So we had 3 of them, and we went into the woods, and we were shooting at each other with BBs and pellet guns. And I remember I got the shitty one that you had to pump up like 10 times.
Yeah.
And as I was like trying to pump it up, I remember I heard a pellet whiz by my head, like just like. And I'm like, whoa,
Yeah.
that was a close one, man. Anyway,
You know what's super fun?
Yeah.
Indoor airsoft. Indoor airsoft is
Oh.
the most fun thing you can go do because it hurts enough that you don't want to get hit, but
Oh,
not enough
yeah.
that you don't want to play. So,
I've never done it. I've done paintball,
Yeah.
and of course pellet and BB wars.
Yeah.
All right, so if I had to
Exactly.
rate this guy, I'm going to be honest, man. To me, the zoomed in Santa nose, or he looks like he's been drinking all day. This thing terrifies me. This guy terrifies me. I'm going with full on, ew.
Ew.
Well,
So
man,
that's what I would
today,
say.
We're just on the same wavelength because when I think of all the sweaty people in this line and the way they're just shoving people down there and these costumes, I'm gonna agree. This is just
Ew.
so there
Yep.
you have it.
Okay, all right. So what do you got, man? You've got another one here.
Well, the next movie I want to bring up is obviously the most classic Christmas story,
Oh, yeah.
Wonderful Life. Story of a man who's kind of depressed, questioning his life, realizing that he's got a lot to live for, which these are all beautiful things. But specifically, I want to point out that, the villain in this movie is the banker who's just trying to take advantage of all the people. Mr. Potter. This guy. Look at his hand. He's looking at it like, oh, that was a slimy hand.
Yeah, did I shake that? Ugh.
Yeah.
Now,
What sucks is I've shaken people's hands with I get all clammy and then it's like, oh, they think I'm Mr. Potter for the rest of my life. That's what it is.
You realize what this means? It means bankruptcy and scandal and prison. That's what it means.
I mean, nothing like James Stewart, man. I honestly love this guy. I think that he's been in some crazy movies. Have you seen Harvey?
I haven't.
Oh, that's a good one.
I don't think.
Oh, yeah. There's this little angel.
You've been given a great gift, George. A chance to see what the world would be like without you.
Yeah, I like this movie a lot, actually. It's funny. It's intense.
Yeah, this
It's got that, what is it? The Christmas Carol, sort of, right? I mean, is it based off of that? How it takes you through
right.
the
I
the
don't
ghost
know.
takes you through what it would be like without you? Isn't that kind of what happens?
Well, yeah, I think in that case, I don't know. Actually, I don't recall. What the most memory I have of A Christmas Carol is Scrooged, which I know he's like visited by the 3 people, but I don't know if that's in the context of he was never there. Either way,
I see. Yeah. Well, okay.
Yeah.
I see. It's different. Yeah. And I'm more familiar with Mickey's Christmas Carol. So.
right, naturally. But basically, we've got this villain here in front of us.
Yeah.
He is like the quintessential evil capitalist, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
If he's supposed to be J.P. Morgan or like some banker that I'm sure there's like 2 sides to every story where Mr. Potter is just trying to do something good, but we don't see that in this story at all. He's just the guy that's there to take advantage of people. So I'm going to also have to go with, if I had to, ew.
Ew.
It's disgusting.
Yeah,
And the whole clammy hands thing.
Yeah, the clammy hands thing. Interesting. And isn't his name like either Henry or Harry Potter? It's one of those.
It's hard for me to believe that that's the
So
case.
I don't know why. I think the clammy hand thing, it reminded me of a story. I once had this quote unquote business meeting that I had to do for my job, and this was many years ago. But I went to this office, okay, and this guy, I came in to help him do something with like Facebook or something, and so normally my job would be like, I'm gonna sit down with this person and either guide them using, just me telling them, hey, click here, do this, while I watch the monitor with them. Or sometimes I would actually grab the mouse and take over. Well, anyway, I shook this guy's hand, and I'm using his computer. So I shook his hand. I'm right-handed. I put my mouse up, my hand up on the mouse, and I look down at my hand, and I realize that there is brown on my hand, on the back of my hand, like brown something.
He gave you a poo shake?
Dude, I sat there and I looked at that and I was like, I didn't know what to do. I wasn't like, I really had no idea. I felt like, is that shit on my hand? First off, that was the first thought. And then I thought, I don't want him to think that that's my shit on my hand.
Right, you didn't put poo on his mouse.
But I'm like, but clearly we just shook hands. And so he had to have known. And I'm like, well, if it's his shit, he's the one who did it. I mean, he was in the bathroom. And anyway, it kind of made me sick. So I kind of took my hand down into my lap, right? And I had one of my, like my business cards, and I folded it up and just sort of scraped it off and like did it under the table while I was talking to him.
Sure.
And just then I saw the most beautiful thing that really brought a big sense of peace. It just washed over me. And the guy...
He was eating a Snickers.
He was literally eating a Snickers, dude.
Thank God.
I can't believe you knew that. But yeah,
wow.
he just pulled it and he was like... I'm like,
wow.
Oh, thank God it's fucking chocolate.
Yeah. What a relief.
So anyway, just based on that story, I'm also giving this guy an ew.
Ew.
Because it's never cool to shake someone's hand and have your hands be clammy or chocolate or poop.
It looks like duty.
Yeah, not good.
Marcus, you're up next with this next one.
Oh, yeah. Dog nappers strike again.
I don't know that everybody knows this is a Christmas movie, so...
Oh, right. Yeah, it takes place during Christmas. And, I mean, the thing with this movie is that, yes, it's a classic Disney movie. I think it came out in 1961. I'm just going to guess. I don't know how close I am there. 1961. If you're not sure about whether or not this is something that is scary, well, the main antagonist is none other than Cruella de Vil, okay? She makes her jackets out of puppies. That's all she wants, man. She just wants to kill puppies to make puppy-skinned jackets, all right? When you're a little kid and you watch this, if that makes sense to you and it clicks, you realize how bad this woman is. And there's some awesome animations with her. Driving the car. I know I've got a screen grab of that coming up. She looks insane. She's absolutely terrifying. The song Cruella de Vil is actually a really cool song too. So she's up there as far as freaky. There she is.
Yeah.
I love her and I hate her. It was weird because even in the very beginning, remember how she like muzzled her own dog and stuff? And I mean, it's just, she just was bad news. And look at that badass roadster. Sorry.
No, it's pretty amazing. It's pretty epic. I don't know for sure, but I feel like that if a Devil Wears Prada could become like she's this fashionista type person, and you know, I know that I get together every week with my anti-fur group at a steakhouse. Just kidding.
Yeah.
But you know, we've got this. Everybody's looking at Cruella de Vil as this terrible human being who's after all of these Dalmatian skins for a coat. I like to think maybe she was cold, but look, she's wearing a coat. Why does she need a new coat? It doesn't make sense.
Well, Dalmatian fur has little spots, and that's something that I guess the ultra elite are after. Look at her eyes. I mean, honestly, this whole scene is badass. Plus her hair, white and black. It's very much straight out of like Tim Burton. Anyway, I'm giving this one, believe it or not, I think she's hot.
That's hot. That's hot.
It makes sense.
What do you think?
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. Now, I'm partial to puppies. Had she been going after full-grown Dalmatians, maybe I could make a case that it was like, you know, the circle of life, and it's terrible that we have, you know, circumstantial where we care about animals in this circumstance and not in others. Again, that's kind of more of a criticism of us animals as humans, but we'll leave that on the for another episode, and we're just going to give her a lame. I think the fact that she was going after those puppies is lame.
Okay. Good choice. Good choice,
Yeah.
man. Yeah. She could definitely be that too. All right, so here's your other one that you've done. It says Home Alone up there, but that's not right. This is something
No.
else.
This one is The Santa Claus.
Oh.
Tim Allen. Again, Tim Allen's just probably one of my favorite comedians. He's got like the coolest story of just, going, through life and then becoming a comedian the way he did. Home Improvement, one of the best shows ever.
Oh my God, the kid who plays his son, one of his sons in Home Improvement, lives in Eugene, Oregon.
JTT? Is it Jonathan Taylor Thomas?
I don't know. No, it's the older brother.
Oh, okay.
And he just got busted for a Dewey in Eugene, Oregon. Like
that's too bad.
2 weeks ago. I know it's not good to make
Sorry to
fun
hear
of
that.
anybody, but hey, man, a lot of people get Deweys, okay?
Sure.
Like it happens. You know who else got a Dewey? Side note, what was it? The Haunting of Hill House. That actor, the guy who plays E.T. Elliot, he got a Dewey in Portland like 2 years ago.
Well,
Sorry. Talk about
hopefully
this movie. Sorry,
now Ubers are making it easier to get less Deweys, if you will. Anyways, the Santa Claus, basically, if you kill Santa Claus, you become Santa Claus. Seems like a little bit of a weird incentive. Or if you happen to be near Santa as he dies, and you put on his coat. Basically, it's not Santa Claus, it's the Santa Claus. If you're dumb enough to put on the jacket, the fine print says that you're now Santa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's like the Grim Reaper story. There's a book called Upon a Pale Horse.
Huh.
And it's about the Grim Reaper getting replaced by a guy because he,
Yeah. Just takes over for him, essentially.
So,
It's pretty,
is that the real oh, no, that's him. He's slowly turning into
he becomes Kris Kringle, yeah.
Okay. He's checking out the lady. So,
yeah.
I've never seen this. This is something new to me, buddy.
Oh, it's a great movie. I highly recommend it. Again, basically, his son was with him when he found that he took over for Santa, and then what ends up happening is his son, because again he's divorced, and his son goes back to his stepdad Neil, this guy,
that dude, the close talker from Seinfeld.
Yeah, obviously.
He's also in Beverly Hills Cop.
The man is just a hateable person. I guess less so in Beverly Hills Cop. But with all that said, the man just doesn't believe his son. And he's a psychiatrist, so he thinks he's able to psychoanalyze his son the whole time. And they're watching the ex, if you will. This is basically watching the ex of your significant other, who you're trying to be a great stepdad to. Basically, fill the kid's brain with, dreams of Santa Claus, and he believes that kids shouldn't believe in Santa Claus because he's that guy. And then beyond that, he thinks that Tim Allen, who is genuinely becoming Santa Claus, is stringing this kid along in an unhealthy way. And so this guy, the evil stepdad, if you will, is just, it's so easy for me to come up with. I'm gonna go hard on the fact that it's lame.
Lame.
All right. Good choice. I mean,
You're gonna have
I've
to
never
take my
seen
word
this.
for it.
No, I've never seen this movie, and I'm also giving it a lame. This guy, a lame.
I appreciate it. It's so obvious when you look at his face.
That lady looks familiar, whoever that was, too.
I don't know.
Okay, let's take a step to 1992. This is a great Tim Burton movie. Batman Returns. And, I mean, honestly, the first Batman was one of my favorite movies ever. And this one did not disappoint when I was a kid. I saw this in the theater. And, I mean, dude, shit, look at him. The Penguin. Danny DeVito. Talk about
Best
nailing
actor.
this role. And Christopher Walken. Yeah, it's Cobblepot. So cool. I mean, just crazy. I also ended up getting this game on my Sega CD, which had, Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah.
So hot. God. I mean, honestly, I'm just gonna give her a that's hot.
That's hot.
Yeah.
hot.
Sorry, I had to do that, Nunyub. But yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, jeez. Whoa.
You know, I agree. I think the Penguin's bringing it too, though. I also have to go ahead and give the Penguin. That's hot. Danny DeVito's just
Okay, you
coming
want a
through
hot in there?
strong. That's hot.
That's
Yeah.
hot.
Okay.
Best Batman ever again, Michael Keaton.
Oh, he's great.
Yeah.
He's definitely the best Batman. A friend
By
of mine
far.
saw him in Vegas eating dinner, and he went up to him and he just said, "Please say, just please, I don't mean any disrespect. Will you just say, I'm Batman?" And he goes, "I'm Batman."
Awesome.
It was so rad.
That's so awesome.
Look at
I
that.
didn't mean any disrespect, last episode or whenever on Christian Bale. It's just
Oh yeah.
it's not that he was bad as Batman. It's just that Michael Keaton is the Batman.
Yeah. So in this case, we're not talking about Michelle Pfeiffer, even though we both gave her that's hot, because why not? Oh, I gave her that's hot. You threw it to the Penguin, which you'll have a choice now again, Nunyub. So for me, the thing that freaked me out about this guy as a bad guy was his oily mouth. Why was his mouth so black and oily all the time? He was sadly
Eats a lot of
given up
caviar.
for adoption and raised in an orphanage, and it's sad. He had little flipper hands, and he was clearly disabled. I'm disabled. And I felt bad for him, but on the same time, I have no choice but to just say that he was amazingly rad.
Yeah.
So
That
that's
makes
me.
sense. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt and say it wasn't his best day. I think the top hat, the whole thing that he's got going about him, and really, it's hard for me, and I'm biased because I just love Danny DeVito so much.
Yeah.
And It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and just everything else he's really ever done.
Throw
I'm
Mama
gonna give
from
him
the
that's
train.
hot. Danny DeVito.
All right.
He's rocking it.
That's hot. That's hot.
Yeah, Danny DeVito is a stud. Oh my God, have you seen you've seen the one where he gets stuck in the bed? What is the crevice with Charlie? Like they start sleeping in Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It's so funny. Like they start sleeping in this like bed, and I don't know what happens, but they have a crevice, and like they would fall asleep and wake up. And anyway, very funny.
Yeah, the whole Charlie Danny.
The troll's soul. Remember that? The only way to get to a boy's soul, or something. You got to I can't remember it, man.
We could do a whole show on It's Always Sunny. I mean,
Yeah,
it's just-
sorry.
it's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Anyway, here we go.
yeah.
Here's your movie.
I've got the next one.
Okay.
Classic Christmas movie. Really,
Drinking spiked eggnog,
Elf-
by the way. Cheers to you, Nunyub, and everybody
Cheers.
watching.
Cheers.
Hope you're getting the holiday cheer.
Happy holidays.
Even if it's water.
And Elf is just such a great story. I was watching another movie the other day. Oh, yeah. By the way, this is the classic Disney era, or
Yeah.
the Disney Plus era. So we were just watching Jungle to Jungle, another Tim Allen Disney movie. It's the same premise. Somebody who comes in from out of this world and has to learn about New York.
Okay.
But basically, I think a lot of times people jump to the conclusion that the dad or the short guy who's a publisher or a writer who comes in later in this movie is the villain. I don't know that I can agree with all that. I'd say that the villain in this movie is work-life balance.
So, is that Mary Steenburgen?
Is that her name? Are you serious?
Yeah, I think it's
The
her.
mom
Yeah,
from Step Brothers?
I don't know. Yeah, she was in like What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
This is the best scene, by
And,
the way. Best snowball fight ever. I don't recall her in that one, though. I don't really recall much of that movie. I know she was the
think
mom in
so.
Step Brothers.
She was like
And
really
this is,
slutty, like trying to make out with Johnny Depp.
No way.
Really hard.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, she was like married. She was like trying to go down on him in front of her husband. This is very weird.
I did not get all of the subtle undertones of What's Eating Gilbert Grape in retrospect. And
Yeah.
probably need to rewatch that. But I will say that
That's the one. That's the one exception to the fabled thing of never go full retard. Leonardo DiCaprio has fully become brilliant. Oh, actually, he mentions that. I think Robert Downey Jr. mentions that in that line because he
Tropic
says
Thunder
he was
is
like
the
a
best
savant.
movie ever.
Yeah, Tropic Thunder is amazing.
Yeah, Tom Cruise in Tropic Thunder. That was the redeemer of all Tom Cruise.
Is that
Not
Peter
Tom
Duncan
Cruise,
or whatever?
I think.
What's that guy's name?
I don't know. I'd hate to be wrong also.
America Online keyword elf. That was something.
Yeah.
Wow.
Really, again, as I mentioned before, everybody
Okay.
wants to say Walter Hobbs is maybe the villain, the dad here. He comes around over time, though. And again, it's even the people that show up late in the movie that are, upset that he can't like drop everything. Well, I kind of side with them also. They did fly over to be in a meeting. The fact that this guy's having a personal issue and needs to leave the meeting, it's kind of hard, but I think he makes the right choice in the end. But all in, if I can say that work-life balance is the villain, and I'm glad he overcomes it, I'm still going to go with ew. It's just ew.
Ew.
Whole thing's ew.
Yeah.
I'm glad he gets through it.
Because I've seen this movie literally one time on a burned DVD from back in the day.
Wow.
I don't really remember too much of it. But James Caan is one of my favorite people. However, just looking at this picture, the framed dollar bill is just a no-go for me. I'm giving it a lame.
Lame.
Wow.
But I
It's
like
like the lucky dime from
yeah.
Scrooge McDuck or something.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, the lucky.
Maybe that was his
something.
first dollar earned or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm sure that's what it
Whatever.
is. Yeah. Okay.
Marcus, you got the next one here for us.
Oh, this is an easy one, man. These are getting crazier. Look at that old school United Artists intro. So, this movie, honestly, guys, freaked me out so much. Now, I know, loosely speaking, Christmas is maybe not the best thing here because I think that I remember it being a little snowy, maybe. Doesn't matter. I'm putting it in here. This movie's absolutely badass and freaky in a lot of ways. Chucky is so terrifying. What's maybe even more terrifying is that after this movie, wasn't it after or before, was Kid Sister and My Buddy?
I had one of those My Buddies.
Did ya?
Yeah, I regret that. It's never
They were
fun
weird.
to admit.
And the commercials, they always showed him putting them in the little Power Wheels, driving around in Power Wheels.
Yeah.
I never had a Power Wheel.
I mean, it
Kinda wanted
was a
one.
classic. I actually did get a Power Wheels once. Like, it was a used Power Wheels, and it, like, stopped working the day I got it. It was a very painful memory of my childhood.
And
With all
yeah,
that said, I feel
is
like Chucky
hilarious.
did not do good for the Ginger Nation. Am I right? I mean, I feel like there's a lot of anti-Ginger sentiment, as best highlighted by South Park, and I feel like that comes straight from Chucky.
That guy is awesome. He's in Fright Night. He's Dracula in Fright Night. Great movie if you've ever seen that. Oh man, what a crazy movie. Now again, it's a little loose here, but I felt like something about that. Maybe it's just because I watched it a lot during Christmas. It was always on. And toys.
So I'm sorry, I don't know enough about this story. Like, were all of the Chuckies evil, or did just this one Chucky?
No,
come?
a serial killer was on the run, and he was like into voodoo, and I forget his name, but he is an amazing actor. He was also in Dune, and he played one of those Harkonnen guys, or I don't know if I said that right. And then he was also in some really weird stuff. I think he's been in some video game things, but he was also in like an episode of X-Files. He just full on commits to every role. Anyway, I think that's the guy. And he ended up running from the cops into, I believe, a toy store. And before he died, he performed a voodoo ritual to transfer his soul into this doll.
Whoa.
That's kind of what I remember. And then she couldn't get the toy because they were all sold out. I guess it was for his birthday, but maybe I feel like maybe he must have had a December.
Let's go with
birthday.
Christmas. Let's
I'm
go
just
with
gonna say it was
Christmas.
around Christmas because
Yeah.
everything was sold out. She couldn't get them in stores like Toys R Us and all that shit. No way. So she
Yeah.
went down some back alley and bought the doll from a bum,
Oh my gosh.
and
See-
it was possessed. And so then slowly but surely Chucky started to come alive. And the full name of the character, I forget his name. You know, the actual
Charles
serial killer.
E.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah. How do you? Yeah, Charles. Yeah. So that's those are like paying tribute to actual serial killers, like Charles Manson and whatever. Anyway, little side note. But yeah, so if I had to give this villain a number, I mean, honestly, Chucky is full on rad.
Rad.
Okay.
How about you?
Awesome. Well, I think it's lame if I buy a toy or somebody, I guess at that age, buys me a toy and that toy ends up murdering a bunch of people. So I'm going to go with lame.
Lame.
Yeah, I can see that. That would suck. Happy
That would be-
birthday,
That would be
Christmas.
frowned upon as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, not cool.
No biggie. No biggie. So,
Oh, dear God, not that thing.
yeah, I gotta say, this is another one of the most unappreciated stories. I mean, I know a lot of people appreciate Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, but when they think of the villain from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Marcus, what do you think people usually
The
come up
abominable snowman, that guy, but he's like friendly in the end, right?
with? Yeah.
Was that not the right answer?
No, it definitely was the right answer that I was
Okay.
looking for. You know who I think are the villains in this whole story?
I don't know.
All the other reindeer.
Oh, yeah, they're dicks.
They're such huge jerks to Rudolph. They don't really even appreciate him until right at the end when they have something to gain by being friends with him.
Yeah.
But they're always making fun of him and never letting him play in the games and stuff. So
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and just unequivocally say that those reindeer are lame.
Lame.
Yeah, I agree. I think that they just picked on him so much. I mean, he's like borderline suicidal. And, kids these days have issues with social media. Well, back then, there wasn't social media when this cartoon or claymation festival was made. And peer pressure and teasing, absolutely terrifying, in person or cyber. So, also lame.
Lame.
That's a good
Glad
one,
we agree on
man.
that
Way
one.
to end cap it. So,
Yeah.
I think we've only got one more, right?
Yeah.
This is
bring us
this is
home.
mine. So this one counts as a Christmas movie for sure. And I saw this when I was very little, too little, because as much as I loved this story and everything that you see here with the inventor guy inventing everything, all the people in this movie are amazing too. But the gremlins themselves, Spike, fuck, dude, terrified me. I remember when I was a little kid trying to go to sleep at night, and all I saw was the face, like a foot ahead of my, in front of my face, of the gremlin. And then I would try and go to sleep, and I'd see something move in the shadows, and I'd be like, it's gremlins, they're coming to kill me. I had,
So
it
sorry
was
to hear
weird
that,
because it
Marcus.
wasn't really nightmares. It was almost like daymares, or dark mares, because I wasn't really sleeping. I was just trying to go to sleep. The part where they also, go check out Joe Blow Horror. The other thing that I would say too is that part when they get wet and they start to bubble, that is so gnarly how they start to reproduce. And then the other part where they finds them in the attic and they're all just goopy and shit and just disgusting. And I mean, the weird sounds that they would make. this movie was beyond awesome as a Christmas movie and so terrifying if you're a little kid.
Are these gremlins caroling?
They are caroling, yeah. And also the sequel is worth watching. It is super funny. It's a little bit more cornball. But anyway, I am going to rank these guys, and the Gremlins are absolutely, unequivocally rad.
Rad.
Yeah, I've got to just, I got to say that I'll admit that I've seen Gremlins probably 100 times, but always like when I was really little. So I don't really remember much of Gremlins other than whenever like my computer's not working, I always say, oh, it must be the Gremlins in my computer, right? I ascribe it to that. And I remember there was a nice gremlin that made it like less scary, but I remember other than that gremlin, they were all super scary. And the fact that it's such like a mainstay, that even though I don't really remember the story of Gremlins, I'm very well aware of the Gremlins. I'm also going to go with rad.
Rad.
Well done. Well, Nunya, this also had a freaky lady who was sort of like, remember in the bank? And she was like, she was like yelling at his dog or something? I barely remember. Something happened.
I do not.
Yeah, anyway, there's some really bitchy lady that was like threatening him for some reason. So there you go, guys. Those are our top 10 best, worst, scariest villains in Christmas movies of all time. Please let us know which ones you think you would add. Or have you seen these movies? Like,
yeah,
tell us.
Are there villains we missed? We would love to see the list.
I would love to see your top 10. Put it down in the comments. Do it. Thank you so much, Nunyub. I appreciate you hanging out. And Merry Christmas to all. Happy holidays. Sunset Hotline is just getting started. Thank you for watching Perspective Now. Later on.